So today we're going to be talking about the research reflection. So this is for a class for research methods through the American College of Education. So we're going to discuss the components of a research. What are the design and methods? Are they compatible? The problem statement, the purpose statement, and the research questions. Finding our appropriate population, the data collection, the conducting the research with limitations and assumptions, and the protocols to ensure efficacy. So, for our first slide, we have the research reflection. Well, what are the components of a research? Well, we have to select a title, of course. We have our introduction with our research, literature review, going through journals and articles to find information pertaining to the topic that we are researching. What kind of methodology are we using? The data collection, and of course, a conclusion and discussion with references at the end. So, are the method and design compatible? The design of our research, it needs to answer questions pertaining to a particular topic. We're going to answer those questions, and our design is going to be based off of those questions. And then the method that we use is going to be kind of like what we plan to do, our plan of action to find those answers to those questions we have. So, will the research plan answer the questions? All these things to be considered. How will the questions be answered? Are we going to use a quantitative or a qualitative method? How are we going to be collecting our data? And who will participate in this research? So the problem statement, purpose statement, and research questions. Well, the problem statement, of course, is going to be our first step in our research. We identify a particular problem, and that's what we want answered. Our purpose is why we're planning, why is this necessary? Why are we finding this information? And of course, our questions are there to kind of guide us and keep us focused on our research. So we're going to identify what needs to be researched. We're going to let our audience know what the purpose of our research is at, develop our questions that are going to be answered. And of course, the purpose will usually be found within the introduction of our research and questions that need to be considered for our audience. And of course, all our questions need to be clear and understandable. So the appropriate population, who are we going to target? Why, if our research is based on adults, where we're not going to use children for our research study, we're going to use adults, and vice versa. If it's a study for children, we're not going to use adults. So determining how many participants we're going to need in our research, or too many could be way too much to keep track of and too much information. So the study population needs to have clear parameters and consider our target group for the research and what age group will be the intended study. And of course, we can always do sampling if we want to. Data collection. So here we can use questionnaires, interviews, focus groups, surveys, observations, polls. These are kind of ways to gather our information together. And so it kind of is going to tie into our problem and purpose, and also answer the questions that we have for our research. So we can use various methods. And of course, we always want to make sure that we are complying with efficacy standards. So conducting research limitations and assumptions. Okay, so assumptions can be taken as facts. Assumption allows you to draw conclusions. Limitations can impose restrictions. Limitations are tied to your research method, and limitations need to have validity and reliability. Limitations while conducting a research could potentially be a weakness if we're not careful. Limitations could even affect the result of our design of the research. So we need to make sure that the assumptions that are within our study, that people are going to assume that they are true. So we have to make sure that we are conducting a factual research study. So protocols to ensure efficacy. We want to always protect our participants. Privacy is very important. We don't want any information to get out that should not be out to the public. We want to make sure that our participants know that they can, their information is being kept, and it's not being shared without their approval and without their approval. So, and participants need to know that they can withdraw from the research at any time they want. We want them to feel safe and secure within this research. So the research process has many components. This is going to be not something that's going to be a 1-month project. It's going to take time. We want to make sure that we are upholding to the standards that are set for conducting research, and that our methods are used properly within any research. Thank you. My name is Diamantina Garcia. Thank you so much.